Hello everyone, I'm JamEz and welcome back for more American Truck Simulator, this time on Windows 10, and a legit version of Windows this time. What is going on with me? I'm like going crazy almost because of this. Anyway, we're going to be doing this job from San Francisco to Barstow, so let's get going here. So as per usual, I'm only going to be really start talking when we actually get to the mission, which is in 170 miles. Otherwise, if I didn't do that, I would have run out of stuff to talk about by the time we got there. Yeah, that's the one thing I don't particularly like about this game. The fact that you've got to travel like a mission's length just to get your trailer. Got it. And now we start talking. So, this week, for me, has been a strange week. Very strange. Simply because of course, as I said earlier, my upgrade to Windows 10. Now, not only did I upgrade, but because if you didn't know, and if you didn't realise on the previous video when the game tabbed me out, you may or may not have seen that on my computer you may have seen a little watermark saying activate Windows, go to PC settings or whatever. And yeah, that's the reason why I did a computer reinstall. Because I'm finally earning money in real life, you know. I thought, you know, it's finally a good idea to actually pay a bit back to Microsoft and say, you know what, you're a pretty good operating system. So I did. So I bought Windows 7 Professional, and I got that for about £20 UK money, which is pretty good actually. And wow, this is really cool. Look at this area. This is amazing. Wow. So yeah, after I bought it, I was like, right, now to install it. Easy, right? No. It was not easy. Let's put it this way. So first I tried just going into the BIOS casually, you know, as you do. And yeah, not that easy, because my keyboard is one of those weird keyboards that has its own drivers for it. So that loads up with Windows, meaning I can't, you know, activate the BIOS before going into Windows. And if you're not computer, like if you don't know much about computers, then yeah, you probably won't understand any of this. But I need to get into the BIOS because the BIOS is what tells the computer itself to say, right, yeah, you want to open Windows. Yeah, got it. It's that little flash of a screen before Windows pops up and says hi. So yeah, how it worked is I was like, oh, well, okay then, I'll have a look online. So then apparently I needed a PS2 keyboard, so I was like, yeah, okay then, I'll get one of those. Luckily my dad had one laying around in his office, so I just borrowed that. It's actually a pretty good keyboard as well, you know. I mean, sure, it's very, very old. It's like one of those faded yellow ones, but like the keys actually press really nice, and it's all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I'm losing track. I know I'm running out of fuel. That's like the main thing I need to do. I need to get fuel. Is there anywhere near here to get fuel? No. That's the closest. I don't know how long that'll take to get there, but hopefully I've got enough fuel. Otherwise, I'm in trouble. Which I should do. I should have enough fuel. But where was I? Ah yes, the keyboard situation. How it was then, after I got the keyboard, I was like, yeah, I'm ready to do this. For some reason I couldn't get into the BIOS. Oh no, that was before. I couldn't get into the BIOS, and I was like, what is going on? And now I got the keyboard, that's right. This is kind of cool, sort of underneath a bridge, almost. Yeah, pretty cool. Don't know why I'm on the left side, we should be on the right. I'm really off track at the moment. But once I got the keyboard, you know, I got told then by my boss at work that apparently before installing it, I need to download all of my graphics card drivers. So like the default sound system, you know, USB 3 compatibility, and also like the internet browser functionality or whatever. So I was like, right, okay, it's a good thing he told me to do that, you know. Otherwise, I'd be on a computer which couldn't get connected to the internet, which would be something. Wouldn't be able to download Nvidia drivers, any games or anything. So I would have been screwed, basically. Although, you know, I do have other computers, such as like my parents' laptops and sister's laptop and all that. So I could always download the drivers on there and then install them through USB 2, which is what would be the only option, to be fair. After that, there was then the fact that I actually had to do this install. So I tried it through the USB like boot device thing that gets created with the Microsoft tool creator, I think it is. What it basically does is it creates a mountable drive, basically on a USB stick, and basically you copy over a .iso file. And .iso is basically an image file, basically like what CDs are. So I did that, you know, great, worked fine. But then when I finally got into the option to you know, to install Windows on it, you know, on the computer, you know, I had it up on the screen like install Windows now and the really low res screen, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it now. But then I got this weird error saying it couldn't find the CD or DVD device drivers or something, and I know I just crashed into there, but just ignore that. I was like, oh, what's going on here? So I then found out that it's possibly an option in the BIOS settings that was set to CD or DVD to look for drivers or whatever. What? That is flipping expensive. $2.82. Wow, that is expensive. Whoo-wee. Wow, that's going to be a lot. I'm going to buy petrol here anyway. I haven't really got a choice. That sucks. Look at that, $400 for petrol. That is a rip-off. Absolute rip-off. So, finally, I then managed to borrow a Windows 7 Professional disk from my workplace, and, you know, the boss was totally cool about it. So then I finally put the disk in, and it worked. It was perfect. It was really, really perfect. So then I had Windows 7 installed, and I was like, yeah, this is so cool. You know, finally going up in the world. And of course, I backed up all of my files. I made sure that I backed up the American Truck Simulator save file and all my, you know, important save files that I've got. I took all the important folders and files on my computer before that, and I was ready. I even downloaded all the installers I'd need, so I wouldn't have to go on the internet to actually download them all. You know, like antivirus. Because even just going on a computer, well, going on the internet without an antivirus can mess you up. Like, really, it's that bad nowadays. So I downloaded the installers before that. And yeah, everything's good. Everything was good. And then, once I had it Windows 7, I was like, yeah, let's use it now. And then I realized Windows updates. Oh boy. So before even starting searching for Windows updates, I created a restore point, which I always recommend you do. Like, before you do anything, install anything, create a restore point just in case it goes wrong, so you can boot it from save mode. Because I'm a computer professional now, of course. That's literally what I've been recommended to do. Like, and literally every day from now on, I'm going to create a system restore point just in case anything goes wrong. Because I want to keep this computer really clean. I'm not going to install any junk on it. All this computer's going to have now is going to be Photoshop, Sony Vegas Pro 13, all my games, Steam, Skype, Spotify, iTunes, Opera browser, and that's about it. I'm not really going to install anything else, which should mean that my my computer should stay running lightning speed, which is what I want. I mean, sure, I don't have an SSD, but to be honest with you, I don't care for SSDs. I mean, they're too much for what it's worth. I mean, just a little bit more speed. When I say a little bit more speed, I mean, I've never actually used a computer with an SSD, but, you know, just speed for, like, a lot more money and not enough space. So I just don't see, like, it's not worth it to me at the moment. And great, we're we're bad for money now, but that's fine because after this mission we should be good for money. And I know it was going to happen because it happens every day at, you know, at 12. You know, you get your loan installments and you're down in money. So we are struggling at the moment, but once we get another driver and another truck, which should be quite a long time to be fair, because it's always the most difficult at the beginning. But when we get that, then we'll be rolling in it, because our second driver will start earning us money as well as the first driver that we get, and you know, they're both going to be getting money for us, and we're going to be rolling in it. So yeah, as I was saying, the Windows updates. I had 232 Windows updates, and if you're installing Windows 7, you know, from the get-go, you should have that many as well. If you go into the little flag option at the bottom right, check for Windows updates, and you know, you got to wait for like 3 hours for it to find them all. Then when it's found them all, you've got to install them, and it'll say. Then you've got to install them all, and it'll take about 3 hours to install. Right, 3 hours. And then your computer will finally turn off, and then when you turn your computer back on, this is the big bit, it will say that it's failed to configure the updates, and then literally it takes 7 hours straight to revert the changes back, and then you've got to start the entire process again. So start installing updates again, and you know, then it'll be like 205 updates, and that'll take like 3 hours to do. And once you've done that, those updates should configure properly, and you should be good. So yeah, it takes about 10 hours in total, but after that process, you're free to go. And when I say free to go, I mean free to upgrade to Windows 10, because it's finally time for me to do that. And of course, beautiful, I don't have the watermark of Windows 8.1 builds 8001 or something like that. And no activate Windows symbol, because it was a pirate version of Windows. Yeah, and I thought it was time that I upgraded. Gave a bit of money to Bill, good old Bill. I mean, it's a pain to install, gotta say, and I just missed that turning. I'm gonna do something a bit illegal here, because I missed my turning, and I really don't want this journey to take longer than it should do. So I'm just gonna do this. A little bit cheeky, but why not, eh? Let's just hope no one comes this way. Doesn't look like they will. Yeah, this is fine. Absolutely fine. Just ignore me. Ignore me. Sort of going the wrong way, but, you know, no one cares. There we go. It's fine. It's fine. I'm going the right way. I'm fine. So yeah, now so then I decided that I would install Windows 10, and you know, Windows 10 is pretty good actually, I have to say. It took about 40 minutes to upgrade, and when it was done, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I really like Windows 10 so far. It's pretty good. I have to say, I've noticed on some games it's not quite compatible with them yet, and it's quite obvious that that's the case. Like, for example, Counter-Strike, when I load up the game, I just get a black screen. Then I tab out and tab back into the game, and then it loads up properly. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I mean, you know, Windows 10 is still very new, and there are still bugs with it, but that's fine. I can deal with them. The Microsoft Store, though, I'm not sure how I feel about that Microsoft Store, because I don't really care for the apps in Microsoft Store. I really don't care for them, because all of the apps can be, you know, like websites anyway, like Facebook and Twitter. I use those on the internet, not through apps. So I'm not going to use the Microsoft Store, even though that's what they're pushing for people to get. Now, the biggest thing about Windows 10 that people don't really know is the fact that Windows 10 is mainly was made so that Windows could use it on phones as well. So depending on what your resolution is on your computer, will depend on how you see Windows 10. For example, if you've got a small resolution like a phone screen size or whatever, then of course you will have more sort of like more of a tablet interface, like a like a Windows phone basically. It will be sort of like all the apps there, whereas on a computer, or if it's says that you've got a massive screen, then it'll give you normal Windows, like with the desktop and the start button and everything. And that's sort of what I want. I hate small screens, can't stand them. But yeah, Windows 10 very good so far. Only problem is this morning when I turned my computer on, it asked me to sign into my Microsoft account. Now I don't want it linked to my Microsoft account, so I found a quick option, to turn it off, and that was fine. That worked really, really well. So yeah, I'm pretty much sorted now, and that took me from about Tuesday to yesterday. Actually, no, this morning was the day that my like everything had been completed. Like I downloaded Grand Theft Auto 5 and Black Ops 3, and everything's fine now. Everything is perfect, and we got the tumbleweed again. Beautiful tumbleweed. We're just in Nevada now, by the looks of it. Are we in Nevada? No, we're not. We're not in Nevada. We're still in Cali. But that's fine. So I don't particularly have anything else to talk about on my list, because I don't actually have my list open right now. Yeah, what am I going to talk about for for the next few minutes? I guess I could talk about VR, because there's been a little bit more VR news, I guess. And Sony, actually on their PlayStation VR, have to say PlayStation VR, from the sounds of it, sounds perfect. It sounds exactly what I would like for PC, because at the moment VR for PC is too expensive. I mean, I paid £680 for my computer itself. Like, no screen, no operating system, no mouse, no keyboard, nothing. Just the computer, £680. And my specs, you'll find in the description and everything. So yeah, I mean, and VR costs more than my computer did, and it's still big, bulky. It requires an extra power lead, like all these sorts of cables everywhere. You got to hook up little cameras around the room to do the spatial awareness thing. Oh, it sounds like a nightmare to me, honestly. I'll be happy, right, when VR is just a little simple plug-in through USB and like a power cable or whatever. I'll be fine when it's like that. But at the moment, it seems not worth it. It really doesn't seem worth it. Because, I mean, it's too expensive. And, it requires like thousands of cables going around your room. So that's one reason. And then PlayStation VR, it's only what, like 290 quid? £290 for PlayStation VR, which sounds perfect to me. That's the sort of price I'd expect to play, VR games with. And I still haven't had a chance to wear a VR headset, so I don't know what it's like. But I'm pretty sure if I do get one in the future, I will share my first experiences using one on YouTube, which should be pretty cool. But yeah, PlayStation VR as well. The developers of it actually said that any games that run lower than 60 FPS on PlayStation VR will be rejected. So I'm pretty happy with that. Because I like my high frame rate games, as everyone should do. And if anything is lower than 60 on VR, it's gonna be unpleasant. I can just already tell, because I mean, just looking at videos and playing games in less than 60, like you can see at the very top left, my Steam FPS counter, if you can see that. Sure, I mean, this game's lower than 60 at the moment, but it's not noticeable, to be fair. I can't notice the difference much. Like I was saying, much. I can notice it, but it's not, detrimental. It's not, gonna disturb my gameplay, make me play rubbish or anything. It's fine. It's very casual. So yeah, PlayStation VR seems like the best option at the moment, and then of course Microsoft have the HoloLens, which is slightly different, and I'm not too sure on how that's going to work. Microsoft HoloLens. But you know, I guess we'll see, because it's still quite a while before all these VR headsets are coming out. And yeah, so that's it really. You know, I'm ready for the video to end. All we gotta do is just make it to the end here. I don't care how much I'm in debt, because of course by doing this mission we're gonna get, what, 8,000? I'll be right back. Wouldn't it be funny if that happened? Yeah, so I sort of loaded up an autosave from just back then, just so you know, I don't have to pay, you know, like millions to repair my truck again. That was disappointing, but you know, it's fine. I'm back. I managed to get back to my point, and yeah, I don't have 37% damage now. I've only got 8 from before, which is fine. Okay, let's see where we got to park it. Oh, just right here. Okay, then that's fair enough. I can park it there easy. Haven't played this game for over a week and I can still park a trailer properly. Awesome. And we're now level 5. Awesome. So, what we're going to do now? I think we're going to do high value cargo again, because I think that's going to be really, really good for us. We're going to get a lot of money from that. And yeah. So, if you enjoyed this video, please rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video of American Truck Simulator. Goodbye.